Good morning, everyone. Philip from Blackpool Markets here. Hope you're all doing well. It is officially now, we're halfway through our first month of the year, so halfway through January. Bit of a market update for you guys. The markets have officially completely caught up to things. I think it's been a very volatile time to trade, so still a little bit skeptical in some cases, as you can see currently on the chart as well. Obviously, with the partial government shutdown in the United States, we have got Brexit going on in the UK. In France, we've got the yellow vest going crazy, and we also have here in our very own New Zealand, we have some issues where the people are not very much liking the deals that we are doing with the UN as well. So they're not very big fans of that. But nonetheless, the markets are moving, so that is all we are looking for as traders. So whether the markets are going up or down, there is always an opportunity for us. So we'll dive into it. We've got, like I said, a bit of a market update. A lot of Aussie pairs to go through, Canadian pairs, some Euro pairs, our Kiwi CAD, and also gold as well at the very end. So do stick through to the whole video. Also, give us a thumbs up if you did like it. And for now, click that subscribe button, followed by the bell icon to be the first to be notified of whenever we release new videos. Anyways, we'll dive into it and we'll see what we got here. So the first chart we got here is the 4-hourly bar chart, candle chart on the Australian dollar CAD. And so here we've had this, we had a bit of a flash crash happening recently at the start of January, so it was quite crazy. But you can see here we have now sort of come back into a very nice market pattern, which looks like it is forming into this very nice channel. So looking for a potential break either to the up or to the downside. Keeping in mind we are also reaching a very key resistance area now. We've had it as previous support, and it's been tested a couple of times since December the 7th, I believe, and then all the way back here to now to January. So hopefully it does indicate a bias to the downside, but if it does break to the top side, we will hopefully we can potentially see some moves, as well as the trend on the daily does look like it's up, besides that crash that we did have. So we do have a nice strong move to the upside. Coming back to the 4-hourly chart, if it does move, break past this level, we can see a potential ranging inside of the zone that we've had here. So you can see we've got this, keep retesting inside of this area. But that is it, hopefully. So we'll see what happens with it. Moving on to our Aussie dollar Swiss franc. So again, we're here on the 4-hourly bar chart, similar sort of pattern, also hitting on that key resistance area, which was previous support. It has broken through, so we'll see what does happen. We have now also formed this wedge pattern. In the other pair, we've had a more of a channel forming. We've also had this crash over here on the 3rd of January. What is the 3rd? Yeah, the 3rd of January. So it does very similar. So again, if we see one of these pairs move in a certain direction, we can expect the other one to sort of follow closely as well. Moving on to our Aussie dollar Japanese yen. Again, we can see that similar pattern. Also the crash, except for this one has now not retested, but is actually into a zone that has come here. So you can see we've had a bit of a movement inside of the zone, and now we've come to this area where it is actually properly forming a zone. So we'll look for potential break either to the up or to the downside. If it does break up, we can look for this potential area over here, as we can see a previous support resistance support over here as well. So break break to the upside, we can look at this here. We're looking on the daily time frame or even the weekly, we can see a potential, could potentially fill this wick over here. The market does tend to do that quite a bit, but here we can see it hasn't filled that wick. So we'll see what happens. This could be a key reversal area. If we do move to the upside, just keep in mind we have this mess over here. So maybe we'll stick to the 4-hourly, to the hourly perhaps as well. 4-hourly does look better, so we'll see. We're looking for a break, and then we'll see what happens after that. Moving on to our Canadian dollar Japanese yen. Let's have a look. There it is. So again, 4-hourly bar chart, very similar chart again. This we've also reached into a bit of a consolidation zone over here. Recently we've had it, and then again here. But we've got a bit of a channel, or sorry, not a channel, but a resistance line. It has broken through now, so we'll see what happens. We do still have this top over here for it to break. We can see it has offered previous support / resistance. So if it does break, we can look for potential moves to this area over here. If it does bounce on that, we can look for potential this to turn into a nice potential consolidation zone, and we can see the price move in between these areas until it break out either to the up or to the downside. And now moving on to our EURGBP. Let's see what the euro market is doing. There we go. So again, we're looking at this last for a while now. It's on the weekly time frame, so it will take some time to unravel and show us what it really is. So, but at the moment, we have a nice Elliott wave pattern forming here with our waves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, which is very nicely extended with its internal waves. Waves 1, 2, 3, 4 looks like a running flat, and wave 5 coming back to A, B, C, D, E. So knowing that if this is a triangle, we know that this is either a wave 4 or a wave B, because your wave 2 cannot be a triangle. If this doesn't make sense to you and you're not too sure about Elliott wave, do have a look. I have made previous videos explaining how Elliott wave works, if you want to familiarize yourself with this style of analysis. So please do that. But for Elliott wave or Elliotticians watching this, you will understand what I'm talking about. So we're looking for potential break of this this triangle. If it goes below this wave E, we can look to start recounting. If it goes below the C wave over here, we do know that this pattern has been invalidated, and we'll have to see what it develops into before making any further decisions. But for the time being, this does look like a very nice waves A. I've got it here as a wave A. Could be a wave 4 as well, wave 3, sorry, like I mentioned, coming down to wave B or a wave 4. So we'll see what happens. If it does break, you can use your post-triangle thrust measurements as well to measure a potential target area for the move to the upside. If it does break to the downside, like I said, we'll have to recount, and we could potentially trade it as a normal symmetrical triangle to the downside, keeping all these key levels in mind over here for potential support areas. Moving on to our Euro Kiwi dollar. So Euro Kiwi, we can see it has now tested a very nice support area that has been used as a previous resistance. If we have a look at the previous history as well, you can see it caused a bit of consolidation around the zone as well. So we can see it's made this big nice candle to the upside. Bit of a inverted hammer with a looks like a move coming potentially to the downside. So we could see a potential retest that area, and then a potential move to further to the upside, continuing this pattern. We also see a bit of a channel as well, not the cleanest, but it does still it does move within these parallel lines. You can see we've had a couple of breakouts, but this can also be a strong or big help as well in your analysis. If it does break past the zone, we do have to the downside. We do have previous areas. I will call this a consolidation zone over here, so we can see using these wicks in this area over here. So you can see this. Actually, I'll pull it all the way down to here. This looks like a very strong possible consolidation zone. As you can see, the market has sort of tried to break out of this area and has failed a couple of times until eventually it broke out very strongly. So if it does come back to this area, we can look to expect a bit of consolidation and then move further to the downside, and then looking for our next support areas. Again, moving to the upside, we are looking at this as a very strong key level. We can see wicks touching bases of candles. Here we've got a bit of resistance and support. Again, we've got some resistance again. So this could be a very key level, and then moving further to the upside, this could be a nice area as well. So you can also trade these on the lower time frames, which would be very good as well, if you want to catch these on more of a shorter trade. And then moving on to our Euro US dollar. So this is the movement pair. So this is usually the most liquid pair on the market. So we can see here on the weekly time frame, a bit of a long wait for anything to happen on this, but we will look at it nonetheless as it is on the weekly. So you can see it has actually reached into this consolidation zone that we've had previously. So you can see lots and lots of movement. So we're tapping into this area over here. I would call it this part over here, because we can see that bit of a wick over here, some more wicks over here touching. You can see also, if you look very carefully, all the internal areas as well. False breakouts. So this is we could see possible very strong consolidation in this area. If we move down to the daily time frame, you can see it's already starting to look quite messy. So just keep that in mind. So I wait till this plays out in the euro US dollar to look for further trades for more long side or longer time frame trades. But on the shorter time frame we can have a look as well. Let's see what we have. Just let's get rid of all these shapes. There we go. So again, also a bit of a consolidation between these lines over here, I would say. So you can see that offered previous support and now offered resistance as well with a bit of a false breakout. Would have been actually a very nice trade. You can see it tried to break out of the area, closed below it again. So very nice trade to the downside if you had your take profit around this target area over here. And again, offered us a nice breakout again. So we could see a potential move to here. But I would say it could potentially look to consolidate within these lines and then look for a further breakout to that. If it breaks to the top, we have this key area over here, offered previous support and then turn to resistance, which could offer resistance again. And then we have a bit of a consolidation zone between these two lines, and then for a breakout as well, reaching that area and then also that high. But if we break to the downside, it doesn't look like there's much to stop it beside. We have quite a fair way down. We have this support area over here. You can see wicks touching, base of the candles, again false breakout with that wick reaching it, base of the candle, wicks touching. So this could be a nice area as well. If it breaks further below that, we could look at this key area. So these are all our levels that we look for. Moving on to our New Zealand dollar CAD, NZDCAD, where are we? There we go. So again, if you guys do remember us doing this, looking at this pair in some previous videos as well, we're waiting for this head and shoulder pattern to potentially form. We'll move this over just a little bit over here. So this is we're looking for this area for potential move to the upside. If it does break, we obviously have this bit of could be a possible consolidation zone. As you can see here, it's offered previous resistance support areas. You can see if we look further back along this line as well, you can see here it's offered that support as well. So once it breaks past there, we can look at this low. Again, if it follows this head and shoulders pattern, we can look for a very nice move that will look something like, I'll just draw it for you, something like this. So looking for that move down, move up, we can see a bit of consolidation around this area over here. As we have previously, this was a very nice sharp turnaround. And then after that, we could look for a move further higher if it does follow this head and shoulders pattern nicely. So this will be a key area. After that, we can look for, this is a very, like I said, very strong resistance area. So we'll see what happens after that. But for now, weekly time frame, this could be a very nice long-term trade when it does eventually reach this area. And now for our last pair, which is our gold. Gold is been treating everyone not too nicely over this past this January. So you can see here, oh sorry, wrong pair. Where is the gold? There it is. So here, since the start of this year, you can see gold has been consolidating and it's just been giving everyone a lot of nightmares. Usually the gold is a safe haven with but the US dollar is actually clawing back, slowly moving to the back to the upside again. So we'll see if it does recover itself or what will happen. But you can see gold has just been an absolute mess on the 4-hourly time frame. So we're looking for a potential break. Obviously, after this break, we can look for a very nice volatile move, either to the up or to the downside. I would say we could look for a move to the downside if it does break over here. And then once it passes this area, we can obviously look for our further away support and resistance area. So lots of movement if it does break out of this area to the downside. And then obviously to the upside, there's a bit of resistance here you can see, but this was very, very long ago in history. So I mean, it could not be held, well, it could not have any effect, but currently it does look like it is. So we'll have to keep these levels in mind if we do trade it to the upside. But on the 4-hourly, it does look like a very nice, actually looks like a flat bottom triangle as well. So we can trade it that way as well. Breaking out of this line, I'll just get rid of this so I don't confuse you too much. There we go. So there we go. So you can see a very nice flat top triangle. So once it breaks these areas, we could look for a very nice move. So hopefully that gives us what we want. Just do keep your risk tight. Like I said, lots of fundamentals going on around the world at the moment. So be wary. Make sure you follow your trade plan as always, and keep your risk management very well controlled. But thank you very much for watching. That's the end of this video. Hope you did enjoy it. Like I said, give us that thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of the video. Click that subscribe button followed by the bell icon. If you want to get in contact with us, please do so. Our details will be provided in the description of the video, or if you want to chat to us on live chat, please do so. You can go to blackbullmarkets.com, click on the little green button that says live chat. Our support team will be there for you. If you prefer to contact us over the weekend or via email, please do so at support@blackbullmarkets.com, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, everyone, thank you very much for watching. From everyone here at Black Bull Markets, safe trading.